Hey guys, I'm back again and I'm here to do my August wrap up. So, August was a really funny month because August I'm usually on holiday. So, my husband and I took a little trip, a 2-week trip off to Belgium. So, I had my bag with a few books that I wanted to read while I was away. But in the end, I only managed to read one book the entire time I was there, and I didn't even finish it until I got back. So that book was this one right here, which is My Darkest Prayer by S.A. Cosby. This is my first foray into reading S.A. Cosby. I can't say this was really my cup of tea. It was really, for me, like a 2-star. It is kind of like the beginnings of his writings. I think this is his debut. Not the best in thrillers, in my opinion. I'm hoping that Blacktop Wasteland and Razorblade Tears and All the Sinners Bleed will be a lot better, because this is clearly a debut. You can kind of tell. So the reason why I didn't read much else except for this was because usually when I'm on holiday with my husband, we're always in the car, going from one place to the next. And I usually take the time to read in the car on the highway if it's not too much like this. So I, was reading, and then I was realizing that every time we were hitting a bump in the road, not just one bump, not just 2 bumps, like 15 million bumps. So every time I would start to read, I would read like 4 lines, and then we hit a bump, and then my eyes would go up to the first line I had read in the beginning. So that was not working for me. So I just kept this book in my bag the entire time. And anytime we had a little bit of downtime or the road was somewhat okay and straight, I would read about 5 or 10 pages and then put it away. I would just keep it permanently in my purse. Permanently in my purse the whole holiday, all the way back, to Normandy. Anyway, so like I said, this book is a thriller. A pastor has been killed, and a young Black man who used to be a cop, he has sort of been enticed into trying to find out more about who possibly has killed this pastor. I just thought, like, I was in the head of a bro dude. Like, I was in the head of a guy who was thinking about, sex and violence, and just, he was always, duking it out with somebody or getting his rocks off. I was bored. I'm sorry. I was bored on this one. So let's just cross our fingers and hope that Blacktop Wasteland is better. Okay, the next book I read was this one right here, The Secret Keeper of Main Street by Trisha R. Thomas. Trisha R. Thomas is the author of the Nappily Ever After series, which I personally have not read, but it was pretty popular back in the day from what I understand. She has now veered into writing more historical fiction. And her first historical fiction, which I did read, it came out, I think, 2 years ago. It was called What Passes as Love. I highly recommend it. I thought it was very good. This is her second historical fiction. This one is about a young woman, young Black woman. It's supposed to be 1950s, 54-ish, something like that. And this young Black woman is a seamstress. She works in the shop for a white lady. So basically she's doing all the lift. She's doing all the hard work. The white lady is just selling and using her expertise to sell dresses. So she loves her job. She loves sewing. She loves fashion. But she has a gift. And her gift is that when she touches someone, she can see their past and sometimes their future. Now, problem is, this girl can't keep her big mouth shut. So she is reading everybody and, telling everybody, what she sees and stuff. And her aunt that lives with her, has been raising her since her mother died, is telling her to stay out of white folks' business. So the story goes on, and you're going to see the twists and turns of Bailey, that's a young black girl's name, being able to read people's future and past, and to tell if the person that they're getting married to is the right person. You're going to see there's going to be some funny twists and turns. It's a kind of odd way of telling this story. Now that I think about it, I'm thinking back at it. The writing was good, but I felt like she could have gone deeper. And she could have gone deeper when talking about, or should I say not talking about, because there was some themes I think she could have talked about, and she didn't talk about them. She just kind of went around them and just kind of tried to tell the story without talking about certain aspects of racism and certain aspects of the time period of 1950s. And I feel like I see what she was trying to do, but I don't think it works, because you cannot, in my opinion, it's hard to disassociate the harsh racism at the time from this kind of storyline. I don't think it's possible to just kind of write and not really talk about that too much. She does talk about it, but she doesn't really get into depth about it. And I feel like that is the ingredient that is missing, is that she doesn't go into depth. And because she doesn't go into depth, her story stays very much on the surface, very light. The only bits of difficulty are very minimal compared to the reality, I think, of what 1950s U.S. living in the South was. Being that as it may, I gave this a 3-star. I think it's good. It's on the lighter side, so it's not traumatic or anything like that. So for anybody who's looking for something that does hit on some aspects of the time of 1950s without going into depth, without going into any kind of, difficult passages to read or anything like that, this might be the best novel for you to pick up for you. It just was just okay for me. I think it was just like a 3-star. It wasn't nearly as good as What Passes as Love. What Passes as Love is so, so good. I highly recommend that one. So these were the 2 books that I read this month. Now let me get on and tell you what I am reading at the moment. So I just finished reading Lazaretto, and if you're interested in hearing what I thought about it, then you can go over to my WordPress blog and find out all about it. So what am I reading now? So firstly, I am reading John Henry Days by Colson Whitehead. I'm buddy reading this with a friend, and I'm almost heading towards the second third of the book. Like I'm almost finished the second third of the book. So I am about, where's my thing? I'm about right here. So I'm almost smack dab in the middle. This is an interesting book which explores the folklore, because he was a real person, John Henry, who had his skills matched against a machine. And Colson Whitehead is using John Henry as a way to talk about the plights of Black people, Black men, etc. Very interesting beginnings of Colson Whitehead's style of writing. Next, I am reading At the Bottom of the River by Jamaica Kincaid. Now, I'm reading this one. This will be my contribution to reading September Shorty. And because I really don't have much time to read anything else except for this one. It's about 70 pages. This one has been on my TBR for a minute. And so I'm glad that I'm finally, getting to this one. So yeah, you might see a blog post review on this one as well eventually. And last but not least, I'm reading as well this week is Blacktop Wasteland, which is S.A. Cosby's second novel. And I'm really excited to get to this one because I hope it's going to be better than this one. So I'm not really sure what this was about. Don't really want to know. I just want to get to it, read it, and enjoy it. So These are the books that I'm reading at the moment. I will be back with another video very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.